Sir, with all due respect,
First of all,
feeding the dog is not a criminal offense. The dog food is going to be gone. I'm listening
no,
to
you're
you.
not, because you're talking
You're
over
not
me.
listening to me. You're trying to enforce a force continuum that is ridiculous.
Do I need to go that route?
I hope not,
Then
sir.
give me your ID.
Why do I need to give you my
Because
ID?
you are littering on the ground.
I am not littering on the ground.
You just dumped food on the ground. Show me your ID and keep that knife in
What
your
kind
vest.
of food? I plan on keeping my
Getting your ID out.
You keep that sidearm in your
Get
poultry.
your ID out. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and deal with this a different way.
All right, so what way would that be?
You're going to end up being charged for littering.
I didn't litter.
Look at the ground.
Dogs were eating it.
Get your ID out.
But why don't you just cooperate and then
Rabash,
you've done
Rabash.
this before, correct?
Yes.
So just cooperate
Get
with
the ID out.
Give your
All right.
I will document
and-
who I spoke with, and then we will be on our way.
All right.
You understand that?
If I don't issue my ID, what
Then
is
I'm
my
gonna arrest you for
obligation?
littering, and I will get your identification.
You're going
that
to
way.
arrest me.
I just
Does
answered your
that,
question.
does that mean
I
I'm
just
going?
answered your question.
So under threat?
No threat.
No.
I am answering your question.
I'm sorry. Under threat.
I am answering your question.
I am giving you your little piece of perfect
Go ahead
plastic
and grab that.
under threat, duress.
No, under order.
Fourth and Fifth Amendment applies from now on. Have a nice day. No, you get to see
your
it.
Okay,
information.
I need a state ID. That is not a state
I'm not
ID.
required to have a state ID.
Do you have a state ID?
I'm not required to have a state ID. Mr. Rabash knows this.
Okay, why don't you let the officer write the information?
I am.
Okay.
I gave it to him.
Okay.
It's right
Bring
here.
it down and hand it to me.
No, I don't need to hand it to you. You gonna hand me yours?
I'm going to take it out of your hand now. Okay?
No, sir. You're gonna look at it.
I'm going to take it out of your hand.
Can I see your ID?
I'm going to take it out
Can
of
I
your
see
hand.
your ID?
Listen to this.
So you
bud.
just
You're
snatched my...
investigating a matter. If you don't
For what?
cooperate-
Me feeding a dog,
Listen
Mr.
to me, bud.
Rabash?
If he chooses to give you a
Sir,
citation,
I'm feeding
you're
a
obligated to
dog.
identify
I
yourself.
asked this man...
If you're doing this, you are delaying an officer in a performance of his duties, which is a misdemeanor
not.
under 148
No, I'm
of
not.
Penal Code.
I'm not
you will
denying.
be arrested, okay?
I'm not
you and I know
denying.
each other. Do not
You're
be
going to
difficult.
arrest me for what? What
He
criminal
is
act?
investigating a littering
What
matter.
Littering?
He
My?
has
Are you
the authority
insane?
to give you a
I
citation
am
if he
feeding
chooses to
a
do so.
dog.
There's a
I am feeding a dog, and I'm trying to talk to this
get a
man
container
to
and
get
put
him
the
into
dog
someplace because I knew
Someone
this
has to
type of
clean that up,
situation would
bud.
happen.
Someone has to
I'll
clean
clean
that
it up with my own hands if I have to.
Okay, well then that's
I will
fair.
clean it up with my own hands.
Okay.
But I bet you those two dogs are
How do you spell
hungry.
David, how do you spell your last name?
I'm not answering questions. Everything else is on the fourth and the fifth. Write down what you need to write. I will document that you did not identify yourself.
Hold on for a second.
You didn't identify yourself.
Sir, I explained to you.
No,
Listen to me
Mr.
for a second, sir. Listen
Okay,
for a
I'll
second,
listen.
and I'll listen
I'll
to you.
listen.
An officer, when he observes, you may argue, okay, and that's your prerogative. But listen to what I'm saying. If an officer sees a violation and he chooses to investigate and give you a citation, he has the right to give you a citation. He can choose to exercise not the letter of the law and let you go. But if he chooses to do so, he needs to identify you, right?
All right.
In order to cite the citation, okay? So you're working your way in where you don't want to go, okay? There are certain things that you need to provide. We need to know who you are when we are investigating something so that we can continue with our investigation. If you refuse and if you delay a police officer in the course of their duty, it's an arrestable offense. Now you can argue that in front of a judge and he can watch all these videos, they're audio and video recorded, and he can decide which way he wants to go. But the officer, for you to do this is not appropriate, okay? You need to hand him your ID, or you need to identify yourself properly.
Are you ready to listen?
Yes, sir.
You said
Your
you
turn.
listen.
Your turn.
All right. One, I'm not obligated to hand him a goddamn thing. Two, under federal and state law, he's obligated to identify himself to me. He has not done that yet. Three, if I have to clean up a bunch of dog food from feeding a dog, I will do it with my bare hands so as not to have to deal with the littering factor.
So in
4,
future-
hold on, you asked,
Yeah,
you
don't
said
scream
you
at me,
would,
but stand back because I don't want to be spit on, okay?
you said
can hear you clearly.
you're right,
I wasn't yelling at
I'm getting a little excited.
We shouldn't.
You said you'd listen. So 4, the only thing I'm trying to do is solve a situation. I fed a dog. That's all I did. If I have to clean that up with my own bare hands, I will gladly do that. 5, I am not required to show a California ID.
You're required to identify yourself.
Identify myself.
Well, I don't
But
have
I'm not
to know who you are.
You're right.
This is not like the movies where
To
I can just
identify
punch in your
myself.
thing
But
and
that
your
still
face.
violates the 4th Amendment, does it not?
We can ID you by taking you to jail.
Does that would still, okay, that's coercion.
It's not coercion.
And yes,
If he
it is.
chooses to
You're
cite-
using threats
chooses to write
and
you a citation,
incarceration
and you do not
in
identify
order.
yourself, we have no choice.
Okay, wait a minute. You're using threats and
I'm
incarceration
telling you how it
in
is.
order to enforce
I'm only telling you
from a
what we have to do.
sir. Do you know the international definition of terrorism?
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
It means,
What's that got to do with this?
bottom line, as soon as you enforce upon anybody your religious ideology, your political ideology, hold on,
You didn't hear what I said.
Wait a minute.
I don't think
I
you got
sat
anything I
here for
I really
3
sat
minutes.
here.
Wait a minute, Sarge. I sat here and I didn't say anything.
But
I
I'm
tried
done
talking
with
to
this,
you.
David.
Okay,
I'm
fine,
hold
fine,
on.
fine,
David,
fine, 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 fine,
David,
fine, fine, fine.
I need you to listen for a minute.
All right.
Okay?
Please.
I don't need you to argue and try and prove whatever point it is.
Say
you're
what
trying
you
to
want to
prove.
say, sir.
I need you to listen.
Say
to
what you want to say.
Okay.
Can I have my ID card back?
No, not yet. Okay? You are being detained right now, and I will explain this. But I need you to listen and stop talking for a minute. Okay? You're recording, I'm recording, so you can go back and review whatever you need to later. Okay? The only reason I initially stood here, right, and contacted you was first off because he appeared to be passed down the street blocking the sidewalk. Okay? And I needed to contact him, check on his welfare, and advise him that he cannot block the sidewalk. While standing here, you stabbed open the can and dumped all the dog food on the sidewalk, which is littering. Okay? Now, I'm trying to talk to you about, yes, regardless of how minor it is, it's a crime that's been committed. While I'm trying to investigate that and communicate with you. At that point, you are mandated by the state of California, regardless of what you believe, to identify yourself so that I can complete this investigation. Do you understand that? Okay? You have told me now that you are refusing to identify yourself when I asked you to spell your last
Did
name.
I not just give
Hold
you
on.
an ID card?
You gave me a...
Under threat?
Hold on. You gave me...
Did I not just give you an ID card under
Listen to me.
threat?
With you right now,
No.
okay? You can stand.
Really?
See you,
No, you
but
did
I don't
not.
want you
Under
Okay.
threat.
Okay.
You gave me a laminated card that has a signature. Okay?
Really?
Okay,
Yes.
we'll take care of it.
I asked you to spell your last
Okay,
name. You
I
said, I
appreciate
will not give you any other
I know
information.
they're good people. I
Okay?
didn't say they're
4th and 5th Amendment.
Okay.
That's fine. But I'm investigating this, which means now you are mandated
Have a
to
nice
identify
day.
yourself. And what I'm telling you is,
And I gave
if I
you-
cannot identify you, then I have to
Okay,
take
sir,
you
you
to
said
our
it. Now move
jail
on.
under this
Thank you.
charge, and we will identify you that way. That is not a threat. I'm telling you what the state of California mandates.
Sounds like a threat.
Well, you can perceive it however you want.
Well, you do know what
Do
jurisdiction
you
is,
understand
right?
what I am telling you?
You do.
Do you hold on. No, we're not having a debate anymore. Do you
I'm sorry, I
understand?
can't see your name.
My name is
because
Officer Nino.
Nino. All right,
Do you
thank
understand what I am
Your
explaining
badge
to you?
number?
896.
Can I
Do
see
you
your
understand-
Monterey ID?
Do you understand what I am
Can I
explaining to
see
you?
your license,
Do you
registration, insurance?
Do you understand what I'm explaining to you?
No, I don't understand anything, but I comprehend a whole lot.
Okay. Do you comprehend what I'm explaining to you?
I comprehend that you're speaking.
Okay. I am now talking to you about a crime that was committed, which mandates you to identify yourself. If you do not identify yourself, I will arrest you and identify you that way. Do you understand that?
I did.
Okay?
I
All
gave you.
need- listen to me.
I
I'm trying-
did.
Hold on a
I'm
second.
listening.
All I am trying to explain to you is that we can resolve this here so I can document who I spoke with. Okay? I know my partners have spoken with you, but I have never. Okay? I document who I spoke with. Your buddy already came over here and cleaned the majority of it up, and I'm sure the dog's going to look the rest
I'll
of it up.
I'll
That's
clean the
fine.
rest
That's
if
not
you
the
want.
point, though. The point is I need to at least write down who I spoke with the same way I did with your partner.
I already
And
gave
then
you.
we move on.
I already gave you.
understand that? No, you
I
did
already
not.
gave. Yes, I
You
did.
gave me a card with a signature on it.
No, I did not.
Okay. Are you familiar with your own card?
Can you
Are
give
you
me the
familiar
card?
with your
Can
own
you give me the
card?
card?
No.
Can you
Are
give me the card?
familiar with your
I
own
do
card?
have a birth card right here, which I will show on camera.
Come on. This could be resolved
Right here.
in just a minute.
Right here.
How are we going to write that information down from
On that one has my photo and every information, same information you had last time,
Okay, the thing
same
of it is-
information you have every time.
thing of it is-
it's out of Washington D.C. It's from a lawyer's
are you gonna give me your
attorney
last
at
name?
law's
Are you gonna
office.
give me your
Listen
last
to me.
name?
Let me
I don't
explain
have a
it.
last name.
Listen to me. Okay. The thing
I
of
have
it
a
is,
family's last name.
okay, the thing of it is,
It clearly states down
stop and listen for a minute.
Yes,
for the
sir.
love of God, man, just
All
stop.
right, all right, Sergeant.
Stop.
All right.
We can't read your last name because there is a stamp on it. The officer is simply asking you
Can't-
to tell.
No, do not.
You are working your way to go into jail, man. You don't need to do that tonight.
Why do I need to go to jail?
Because he needs to identify you.
What is your family's last name? Since you like to
Why are you
play
so
on
My family.
Last
Of
time
the
you identified
family,
yourself.
legal definition
Okay, what is
of the family
That's great. What is
would
it?
be son of Connor.
So O'Connor? Yes? Is it N-A-R or N-E-R?
You have that
I'm
proper.
asking you, why are
can't
you
read
playing
it,
games?
man.
Just
We
get
I'm not
over it.
playing a game.
Just get over it. So
I'm
you
not
can move
playing a
along
game.
tonight.
Fourth and Fifth Amendment.
That's great.
You have the proper identification.
Center 3 X-ray 229 name DLB. All verbal, last of O'Connor, Ocean Charles, Ocean Nora, Ocean Robert, first of David, 6 of 70.
6 of 70.
6670.
But we don't have to do this every time.
I don't want to do this
You
every
don't,
time.
man.
I really don't, Ravash.
I mean, you're
I
here all
don't,
day.
Sergeant. I
We
don't want to
bother
do
you.
this
We don't
every
wanna be
time.
bothered either.
I
We just
don't
sit
want to
and
do
put
this
that-
every time.
We just want to move along and do our business and be gone. And
Okay,
get a long,
sir.
lengthy thing that it doesn't need.
Okay, but there's legal parameters that are in
He's telling
play.
you all the legalities of what we have to do.
Mr. Ravash,
Sir.
Sergeant Ravash,
Sir,
would you not state that there are legal formalities in play?
would you not state that the city of Monterey has its
You
own
still haven't
rules and
answered my
regulations?
questions.
Listen to me. And we have an authority to enforce those rules and regulations.
You only have authority over those that have contracted with those regulations.
We can,
That
we
is
can hash
law.
this out in court, my friend.
This is the first court, sir. Really? You guys
Did
are
your family give you a middle name?
No.
I think we have had contact with him in records. Honestly, I don't remember your name because the other officer wrote it,
Honorary
or I would have
records,
resolved
search
this
right
right now here. I would. Honest to God, I would.
The other sergeant or the other, which
Whoever
one?
was
There's
there.
Are you trying
The
to
sergeant
locate
that was there,
prior
Sergeant Blair.
contacts,
Yes.
David O'Connor,
When we contacted you,
667.
you just, I mean, you identified yourself and we moved on. You moved on. Everything was fine.
No,
I don't know
no.
why you're doing
but see, what you did over there was serious rights infringement.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You need to talk to Blair, but he did his job, just like we are doing now.
All right, if you say so. If you say so, let's let the public decide, shall we?
I mean, you want to go to jail, we can take you.
I don't want to go
We
to
can take it.
any kind of incarceration.
Because
That's human
Let me tell
trafficking.
you something. I want you to look up Penal Code 148. It says when an officer on duty in his capacity is investigating a matter, a crime, if you continue delaying that officer or you resist that officer, you can be arrested with a misdemeanor.
This is Penal Code 148, right?
Yes, sir. Look it up.
I want you to look up, please, sir.
Let me write it down. Look it
8,
up.
please. I want you both to write this down.
I respect that.
8 USC 1101
Mhm.
821 and 22.
21 and 22. I will look it up. I promise.
Thank you.
I see
Thank you,
all the
Mr.
time.
Robash.
I will look it up and we'll have a discussion tomorrow.
I'd be glad. I'd love to have coffee with you and have a conversation. I really would. I really would. That'd be great.
Are we good with him?
Hey, David.
Why don't you give him a break tonight, man? He's actually an okay guy, but he just likes to argue.
No, I don't like to argue, Rabash.
Well,
I like to follow the law.
Different word.
I like to follow the law, and I like you. Wait a minute. You want people to be law-abiding citizens, but when they enforce the law, you get egotistical, and this ends up becoming a problem.
Nobody's going to go.
Seriously.
Okay, David.
This is.
Okay, David.
I'm not David.
Well, we don't know who you are.
I'm Terric. Or this is what my description is currently. Terric, and that is issued out of Washington, D.C. by a attorney at law's office, 2 inches stamp.
Okay, all right.
So if you want to call David, who's an attorney at law in Washington, D.C., he will be glad to explain some things.
You're on the same info, but with the first.
I'm sorry.
How was your Robert, Ida, Charles?
So far.
To tell you the truth, to be honest, when I get to my count spot, my sanctuary, I like to sit down and calm down and contemplate my day. And I don't really know how my day is today until tomorrow, sir.
See, that information.
That looked like your name there, so that's why I called you David.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it's not.
David
is the attorney in Washington, D.C.
See how things can be resolved when we actually talk?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Okay.
And that's all I tried to do.
Here's the thing, Terric. I've never met you before. The only time I've seen you was when I covered my partner over at the church. He was looking for someone else, and he spoke with you there. I was in the parking lot.
Josh.
No. Well, the guy that he was looking for?
No, that'd be his second time around.
No, it was...
Well, there's 2 times you guys respond to the church behind a 5150 who keeps coming up there and being asked over and over.
I've seen you, but I've never spoken with you. I don't know you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to ring you up.
I'm not doing the same.
Is I have to at least be able to tell my bosses that I did my job. All right. I'm recording also, which means if I walk away from things and at least don't identify who I'm talking to and tell them that, I don't have to enforce the laws, but I have to at least do my job. Okay? Does that make sense?
All right. Okay. It only makes sense if you use it in the proper definition. There's legislation and then there's law. Law you can't argue with. It's ever present. Okay. Legislation is ever changing.
I think all you want to do is argue. I'm not actually telling you that.
No, sir.
I'm not here to
I don't want to argue. Okay. I'm only pointing out base facts.
Have you ever been cited before in the past? For any?
Sure, and I won. L.A.
Okay.
One officer tried to get me for drinking in public for collecting cans.
Listen to me. Were you required to properly identify yourself?
After we had a discussion.
You have to.
No, I don't. If I'm not committed of a crime,
well, you did over here.
I didn't commit a crime.
Okay, all right, Terric. Hey, you're getting it on your shoes, by the way.
That's what we're saying.
Huh?
You're getting it on your shoes, by the way.
You have a good night.
I'm not too worried about that. If you want me to scrape that up, I'll scrape that up.
Can you just do me a favor, even if it's just that plastic that's next to your foot, can you swipe it into the rocks just so people aren't slipping?
I'll wash it for you if you need me.
Whatever. I just don't want people to fall.
See you later, okay?
Have a good night, Bagash. See you tonight.
Coffee someday. Have a good night.
I hope so. I'd love to have a conversation.
I will.
What the fuck? You alright?
I'm alright. I'm good, Mike. I'm good. I can handle myself better than you can.
You're gonna keep walking up this way then?
Huh?
You're gonna keep walking up this way then?
Yes,
I
sir.
don't know. Yeah, it's cool. Well, I'm glad everything's cool. No, I just saw that anyway. All right. See you.